What's up, guys? I'm out here getting it in on my InMotion V14, fully equipped with the Grizzly kit, as well as the VCF pads by Roger Chapman, rocking my Vega Air GPX helmet, trying to wiggle weave through all of the gardens. I swear, they make those plants tighter every single time that I pass, just so I can't get through. You gotta keep your head on a swivel every time you get out here. It's a defensive game, guys. It's a defensive game. I promise you, you're never going to win a head on collision with a car. Make room, get out of people's way. She didn't hear me, so I just went wide. And most of the times, people aren't going to hear you. I have no idea what's up with all of these noise canceling headphones and can't nobody hear nothing while they're out and about. It's wild to me, man. When I was young, all of the information that I had about rape made me never wear headphones in public. They were like, make sure you can hear things coming up from behind you. And these days, nobody cares. Nobody cares. Everybody's just kind of in their own world, listening to their little audio books or whatever. So, when you're ripping fast on any surface, in any place, you got to be aware of all the little possibilities. Where can anybody jump out from? Is there any possible blind spots? Have fun the whole way, but are there any blind spots? Don't make cars bend over to you. You know what I mean? Don't try to force a car to brake, and hold up the whole traffic intersection just for you. Eventually you're going to lose that fight, guys. You're going to lose that fight. And we're seeing it more and more. Why do that when you can do this? The wheels give you such a great chance to be able to, bob and weave and change direction and go anywhere that you need to. So keeping, trying to bogart a car's path is just so childish to me. And I see it happen so much on all these EUCs, man. People out here trying to bogart cars and stuff. And it's like, dude, you got an EUC, that thing will weave in and out and move and get around without anybody knowing you were ever there. And that's really how I try to ride, man. Make sure it's lots of visibility. And then when it's time to take the turns, or when it's time to move through, if I can help it, I don't want anybody to feel my presence, moving through traffic. And there, you saw I went real wide. Anytime I see a pedestrian, I'm going real wide. Taking advantage of as much of what the EUC presents as possible. I can always take the path of least resistance. So while these cars can go faster on the road, I can always go faster by virtue of the paths that I take. I'm absolutely in love with this InMotion V14. It's getting to be time for a tire change, though, which is crazy. The tire never lasts on this wheel. But that's mainly because, with that much torque, with that much power, you're just ripping at the pavement all the time, guys. Just ripping at the pavement all the time. Every single move, it feels like just yanking rubber off the darn thing. I'm always grateful when people let me through. So you saw right there, bow, wave, bow, wave. I'm always respectful and polite when people let me through. I really try to encourage that. I have no idea what those people were doing so wide apart. It's crazy to me, why they would split themselves like that and make it to where there's not a lane that anybody else can go down. Is that a cultural thing? Does anybody know what that's about? Because I swear it looked like they were a couple of some sort, but they were just walking on opposite sides. So I don't know what that was about. On this little stretch of trail, you pass by the police station. That's what you're seeing right now. We're moving right by the police station. And I use the skinnies. You've seen that a couple of times already, guys. I use the skinnies anytime I'm anywhere to try to practice riding on a line or riding on a rail. So do that, see how that helps. I promise you, all those little things add up to you being able to do a whole lot more later. And here, always come to a complete stop at these stop signs when you know that the intersections are busy, dudes. And even though I hit the lights there, people are still going to keep on going, blowing through. It's right there, boom. He was ready to keep on going. I don't get it, but I'm not mad. I just keep on moving, guys. You got to keep on moving, and eventually, look, boom. I get ahead no matter what anyway, And so the ticket is to try to stay ahead, accelerate, stay ahead, accelerate, you know. I'll oftentimes try to pendulum for just a few moments before I drop my foot. I try to drop my foot on some stylization type ish. I really like it to look cool. You know, I like it to look cool. I feel like the Power Ranger vibes is strong. Those E-Rides pedals are so sexy, guys. If you've never messed around on these E-Rides pedals, you've really got to give them a go. With the risers in the front and the back, like kind of the gradient slope that they have, it's super duper duper sick. I always wear the Skoiko pads, and eventually soon I'm going to be wearing the Skoiko elbow pads too, if I'm riding fast during the summer, because I can't wear my LazyRolling jacket. Generally, I prefer my LazyRolling jacket. It's just so much armor. It makes you feel like such a badass, and it, you know, in terms of convenience, putting on one jacket versus putting on like 3 different pad systems is pretty wicked. It's pretty wicked. Boom! Off the line. That V14 is wicked, guys. Is it not? Am I crazy? Like, the thing just does not know how to chill. So after you hit that top speed, though, it's just kind of cruising, and everybody else is going to try to catch up to me because, you know, they don't want to be passed by an electric unicycle. And I respect that, but, yo, if I really want to, like, get to where I got to go quicker than everybody else, that's just what's going to happen. And I'm going to do it safer, and I'm going to do it without being felt. It's getting to be cooler out here in Gainesville, guys, so you're going to see me riding a lot less with the LazyRolling jacket on. Is anybody excited about those new wheels, the new smaller wheels, the Rocket and the Arrow? You may have noticed I've kind of tried to chill as far as trying to like pop off with new wheel videos. Like, it's not the thing that I'm trying to do, man. And it feels almost ADHD, to be honest, the way that I'm making these videos and the way I've been making these videos, because I'm trying to lean into a vibe that completely satisfies me. And honestly, they haven't so far, man. I might be happy in one place, but completely unhappy in another place in terms of the way that the content comes across. And it's like, inevitably, if I feel like the editing is A1, then I'm like 5 videos behind, man. I'm trying to get these videos out to you. I film roughly 2-3 videos a day, dude. 2-3 videos a day of high quality EUC content. And to be honest, I want to share them all with you. And so I've really just got to figure out a way. And I think this is what I'm going to do, what I'm doing right now. You know, this format is manageable for me. This format is something that I can do. And ultimately, with what I've been doing, I've just been stagnating my content, waiting for the right moment to release this thing or the right moment to release this thing. And by the time I get through, you know, like getting everything just right, it's no longer relevant. And so I just squash the video, you know? So it's like we got so many cool things in the works, guys. So many cool things in the works, you know? And I just want to be able to show the process. You know, really and truly, when I started this channel, it wasn't as a reviewer. Like, that's not really my lane. You know, being a reviewer requires a certain amount of technical rigidity, a certain amount of willingness to be consistent about the boring details. And, you know, my buddy Wheel Good Time, he does a wonderful job of that. Sean in New York does a wonderful job of that. Ronan, he does a wonderful job of that. For me, personally, I'm an experiential guy. You know, like, reality comes across in 2 ways, man. It comes across objective, and that's like the scientific way. That's, you know, all the chemicals and molecules in the air. And then there's subjective, and that's how you experience it. And what I experience when I'm riding is what I want to share, man. I want to share that. Those numbers, those stats, I don't know, man. Like, I guess they matter to a degree, but at the end of the day, the real limiting factor for most of these wheels is going to be the rider, you know? Even the slowest wheel is way more capable than most people are capable, you know? So it's like, you know, find out what you like to ride, find out what your lane is, you know, what your needs are. If you do have needs, like if there's hard range limits, then you know, you really, really, really need that. If there's hard limits on like size because you've got to be able to pick up your EUC, then you really got to like zero in on that stuff. But as far as like wheels go, it's the experiential thing that I'm after, and I can have a good time on a V8, man. On an M10, I can have a good time because I'm just going to try to balance on things. I'm going to try to practice things that I haven't been able to do. And I guess that's kind of what this video, I guess if I could tie it into like just one thing, it's just going to be the new direction of my videos, man. It's going to be me narrating the rides as I see them and talking about little things here and there and offering my little tips, thoughts, and notions. But I really want to be able to put out this content for you guys. I want to share my rides. You know, each and every ride is a riveting, rock-solid adventure. Seriously, they are all amazing. You know, I'm always going to search for the quickest. Okay, so right here, blind turn, corner, corner, corner. That's what I do. Okay? That may save you. Do you have any practices that you think other people might need to take into consideration or that might help? Like, is there anything you do in your neck of the woods that is an extra safety kind of thing that keeps you alive while riding? If it is, leave it down in the comments below. You know, like for me, another thing that I do is I'm always checking the hedge line. So like if there's a turn that comes up on some bushes, you know, I'm always checking back past the bushes to make sure that nothing's going to come up and whack me. So if you have any tips or tricks for how to stay alive and make sure that you live to ride another day, please leave them down in the comments below and let me know what you think about the new format for the videos that I'm going to be running up, because honestly, I just got so much stuff I want to get out to you guys, and doing it the other way just wasn't working. So please remember to like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. Peace.